begin. So let us start. So today we are going to continue our meditation based on the Vijnana Bhairav shlokas or the teachings. So we'll begin with a prayer. Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So we'll take just a minute first to just do a couple of deep breath and relax the body. So for today's practice, we prepare mentally by first checking our posture. Try to get into a good posture, not too tight, not too loose. So for the next about 25-30 minutes, we will do a meditation contemplation. So it is not like our regular meditations where we just are going to close our eyes and just keep using some technique. Here the specific ones, and I'll just guide into that. So I'm going to project a on the screen something which all of you can look at. Okay, so today meditation we are going to meditate on this on two shlokas or two sutras. So the this one is based on trying to focus or bring our attention to that large spaciousness. So, of course, ideally, these are techniques given, where people focus in that nature itself. So, but here, the focus is trying to look at our gaze, our attention. So, as much as possible, we try to hold the gaze. If you have to blink, it's okay. Just blink for a second, but as much as possible, without too much stress, hold the gaze to looking at that spacious feeling. And the idea is that we hold the gaze, as the shloka goes, on a place which is open, which is there is not even any trees, just above or on that bare mountains or rocks or walls like that. So the mountains, oceans, or rocks that we see are just support, but we are trying to look into that spaciousness. And where there is no support for the mind to dwell on, then the mind becomes less and less kind of um, in a constant thinking state. So here we first try to look at that spaciousness and feel that in our mind. Feel that spaciousness in our mind. The shloka is Nirvriksha Giri Vityadi Deshe Drishtim Vinikshipet Viline Manase Bhave Vritti Kshina Prajayate. So here the mind is trying to look at something and it doesn't find any support to hold on to. And then you experience that spaciousness, that supportless, finite, supportless. Without that finite thing, then the mind dissolves into that state of pure consciousness. So I will keep changing some pictures also, which might be helpful to just. So amongst all the pictures we see, we are not looking at the picture itself, but we are looking at the spaciousness. So the pictures are just a means, a pointers. So as we look at the mountains, try to see beyond the mountains into that spaciousness. Similarly, if you see rocks or things in the picture, you try to look beyond that. So the rocks are just a pointer. Try to experience that spaciousness. And then you can try to look at that sky kind of nature. That sky provides that means of connecting to Shiva Tattva, or the essence of Shiva, the essence of that supreme consciousness. Similarly, beyond the ocean into that blueness, as much as possible for a while. Just try to look into that. And the idea here is you try to hold the gaze without too much stress. You try to hold on the gaze. Let that gaze keep looking, and the more you can feel that spaciousness, the more you can connect to that spaciousness. And we can just relax the eyes if you wish and close that eyes for few minutes. And then try to see that inner spaciousness of the mind. Feel that inner spaciousness of the mind. Hold on to that sense of openness, that skyness everywhere. And now you can try again, gently opening that eyes, looking back into that openness. Maybe not necessarily have to look at that screen. You can also look at that spaciousness in your very room where you're staying. So wherever you're staying, and ideally, of course, if you're in some open area, it's even better. But just trying to feel that spaciousness around you. Don't look at any specific object, even if your eyes are looking in that direction. And especially don't look at any people, photos, or anything. Just look at that spacious feeling around you. Again, gently close your eyes and meditate on that spaciousness. Now, as you meditate on it, we bring in a conscious superimposed thought that all of that experience of infinitude, all of that spaciousness, openness, which is present everywhere, it is nothing but this Shiva Tattva. So either you can use just this blueness as a attribute of that Shiva Tattva, or if you are more connected to the form of Shiva, you can bring in that nature of that form of Shiva and feel that everything, the whole of the universe, everything in this universe is the essence of Shiva Tattva, that essence of Shiva, that essence of that supreme, essence of our own true nature. So now we are shifting a little bit into just open, thoughtless kind of state to a conscious thought that everything is Shiva, everything is my own supreme being. But we need a support, so we take either the form of Shiva or that blueness as an attribute of Shiva that pervades everything. Just like that sky is everywhere, that blueness or the Shiva permeates everything. So we meditate on this idea, this entire world, entire universes, up to the end of that, whatever we can conceive of the universe, that endless regions, the limitless limits we can conceive of. All that is pervaded by the Shiva Tattva. Meditating thus as often as possible is the means of liberation, says the scriptures. Asya sarvasya vishwasya paryanteshu samantatah adva prakriyaya tattvam shaivam dhyatva mahodaya. So this way that all the aspects, all the sides, all the corners of this endless worlds are nothing but the quintessence of Shiva, quintessence of that supreme being, Tattvam Shaivam or Shiva Tattvam. So as we meditate on this, it says Mahodayaha, there is a great awakening that will arise in our hearts, awakening to that supreme reality. And when this supreme realization starts dawning on us, we don't think of it as something outside of us. It is our own essential being. that nature of Shivoham, Shivoham. Any thoughts are coming, any emotions are coming, then just come back to either looking at the screen where you experience that blueness of the skies and the mountains and the vastness of it, or just look around in your own room, that spaciousness, that openness. Even though we have filled our rooms with objects, the majority of it is the space, open space. And yet, the space is the substratum on which all the objects are existing. So the objects in their true essence are not different from that space. The limited mind wants to look on the objects, but the true nature of that consciousness is always resting in that spacious openness. So hold your mind in this open awareness of the spaciousness. That is the closest we come to using the mind to realize the true nature of consciousness. Let all the thoughts dissolve in that experience of openness, infinitude, that vast sense of space, all our little identities clinging to this idea of the petty nature of body, the petty nature of our relationships, transactions, which keep our mind occupied. Let that all dissolve into this supreme, infinite nature of Shiva, Shiva Tattva. Allow it all to dissolve. Let go. Let them return to their source. Take that last few minutes to merge that idea that all of this infinitudeness, all of that spaciousness is nothing but my own true essence, that I am indivisibly one with this Shiva Tattva. And if you want, you can also use the support of that chant which we use as Shivoham, Shivoham, and just hold on to that idea that all of that Shiva Tattva that permeates everything, the sentient, insentient, life, lifeless, everything, that Shiva Tattva is non distinct from my own nature, my own true nature. Connect that chant to the thought, and the thought to that consciousness. We chant Shivoham, it should make us remember that Shiva Tattva, that supreme beingness that permeates everything, and that idea should release us even from all that thoughts. The thought itself will dissolve and then rest in that supreme state of beingness. Just rest the mind for the last few minutes. Just relax. No need to contemplate anything. Just the power of meditation, the momentum of what we've been doing so far. Let that carry you. try to rest behind the mind, behind the thinking, in that state of experiential awareness. Just bring to a mind that now the sense of gratitude, a sense of humbleness. The little mind can always bow down to that great supreme being. So mentally, reverentially bow to that supreme essence of Shiva Tattva, consciously for the final 1 minute. Hold to that idea of gratitude, reverence, humility, bowing down mentally. That finite bows to that infinite. And with that attitude of inward humility, you can just listen to the closing prayer. Mahadevam Mahatmanam Mahadhyanam Parayanam Mahapapaharam Devam Makaraya Namo Namaha Shivam Shantam Jagannatham Lokanugrahakarakam Shivamekapadam Nityam Shikaraya Namo Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.